I want to introduce myself. My FTRA tag is Ghost Rider. I'm a black and red rag member of the FTRA. I'm also the founding father of the FTRC. I'm a 5 flag member of the FTRC. My tag is Metroman 5150. My real name is Martin Vazel. I want to speak to you guys about the difference between a hobo, which a lot of people regard me as online, and that I'm not. Out of respect for hobos, I am not. I have some people who refer to me as a local bum, as a bum, a rel bum. I am definitely not a rel bum. I spent a bunch of years with BC rail workers on the rail line, traveling between Vancouver and Prince George. I've also helped rail with them in America for 3 years. I'm what's called a tramp. There's a big difference between what I am, what a hobo is, and what a bum is. I'm going to start with the local bums. They're the ones you find on the street, and they'd be asking you, pestering you for change, they'd be drinking alcohol, they'd be doing drugs, and when you walk them past, after you've given them change, say a half hour, an hour later, they don't recognize you, they ask you for change, and then they tell you to piss off because you refuse to give them money a second time. The reason for that is because they're intoxicated or high on drugs. I don't do that. That's not what we do as tramps. We work, or we receive assistance from the government, we put our monies away, we buy gear, like the camera that's being used to record this, like the scanner I have in my hand, like the camera that I couldn't afford to buy, but my government worker assisted me in putting money away so that I could go and buy it, and the person at the store, he gave it to me for his cost, which was close to $430 instead of $800. He found out what I was doing, what I do, and he supports that because I travel with money in my pocket. It might not be the greatest amount, but it guarantees for 9 days to 14 to 30 days to 4 or 5 weeks, I have money in my pocket. I can have $50 a day that I can use for a hotel if I need to, or I can utilize my own funds to get myself on a bus, plane, or train and head right back to Canada if there's an emergency. That's the difference, is I have a homestead. I have a home base. And when I travel to California, I've always had a home in Santa Monica. I've always made my way home. I've always left home with money in my pocket with my gear. I love hobos. They're the greatest people I've ever met. It's like meeting hippies on a rail line. These people are cool. These people got heart. They're very similar to tramps in a way, except they got a really hard life. The government doesn't give them anything. The government gives them food stamps, and the government, well, they got to go town to town to town looking for work. Most times the amount of money they make is probably less than $10 an hour, which means you can't even pay for a bus fare, train fare, plane fare to wherever you want to go to get more work. There's a lot of other people who are deemed hobos. These people are like Vietnam vets, they're like war vets, they're ex-Marines, they're people like Stoby the Hobo, they're people like Hobo Mud. These people are well dedicated to living a very clean, a very healthy way of being. Unfortunately, Mr. Stoby died. Rest in peace. But if you speak to Hobo Mud, he'll explain to you that there's an importance of having money in your pocket. And that's what makes the difference between hobos, bums, and then tramps and bums. We're very similar to hobos, except we have laws. We have rules, and one of the rules is on a rail line, if someone is found harming someone because they're intoxicated or because they want something from them, well, I carry a red rag. I can't walk past them. I have to, regardless of my own safeties, I have to consider the safety of the person who's being assaulted. That's the difference between me, a tramp, and a hobo or a bum. A hobo is peace and loving. They mind their own ways, and most times the people that we get in trouble over is because somebody was beating up a hobo. Why they do that? We believe it's because they're intoxicated. I don't drink. Most of the FTRA members that I ride with, we don't drink on the rail lines. We do party on occasion, smoke a bit of marijuana, or have a beer. Most times it's not on freight trains, it's away from freight trains, it's around people we know, and when it's not, all hell can break loose and we get blamed for it. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. My gear is different too as well than that of a hobo. I don't carry a backpack. I mostly just carry a bedroll. I don't carry my kitchen. I sleep, eat, and most times shit on trains and throw it off when I'm on the train. My gear is particular to what I am. I'm FTRC. I have my FTRA gear that I put on when I go to America, but out of respect here in Canada, I'm FTRC. This is how we dress. I'm in Black Dakota. I've got a Black Dakota pullover on. I've got my Dakota vest here. I pretty much live differently than most hobos, and I live differently than most hobos, and I don't, you can see by my home, I have very strong activities. I built this myself, a little loft, even though I have a one bedroom. Over here, there's some beautiful eagle wings. Eagle wings came from a specimen that went to residential schools. That was my leftover of a project I did. I did work with the survivors of a residential called Open and Closed Doors. I took apart, I think it was 28 eagles. That was in conjunction with the Conservation Office and Chief Bill Williams of Squamish Nation and a member of the Iroquois Confederation. This is my home, me and Jen Wong, my beautiful girlfriend. Come on, Jen. Let's show them my home. Show them the home. Built this ourselves. Put a counter in, beautiful counter. Go around and show them. Let's show them. Here, I'll take this from you for a moment. Show them the kitchen. Renovations aren't quite done. We have a spaghetti sauce here. Did a beautiful spaghetti sauce, simmered it. I wanted to simmer it for 6 hours, and we were hungry, so we ate it. Leftovers of our celery. And then I'm working on the sink, but that's not what we're here about. We're here about showing the difference between what a tramp, a bum, and a hobo is. So here it is. I'm a tramp. This is my home. These are my toys. I have my homestead. I come home and I have toys. I have my beautiful monster truck I play with. I have a beautiful Kyosho here. Nice nitro racers. My little toys. And then we'll get my little sweetheart to, oh, beautiful. There you go. Right on. My little fave. I love HO. So, here you go, sweetie. Watch your fingers. I'm going to show you guys some gear. I ride the Northern Line. I ride it in the next 4 to 5 weeks. So I've got a Dakota overcoat. It's good for my winter. It's not lined. We have a way of lining our garments so we're not detected on heat whatchamacallit. I go through a lot of tunnels in the Northern Line. Very important to have the breeder. There you go. BC Lions, go Lions, go. Got this from my sister. This is about 30 years old. Keep it with me on freight trains. And then on the Northern Line, same with the High Line, sometimes you get into really nasty weather. This I normally wrap into my bedroll. And so, as you can see, a perfect fit. What I have on. And my gear is wearable. That's why they say you gotta know your gear. You gotta know what you need, what you don't need. I could take this off. Take this. As you see, everything fits. Everything fits a good part of gear. I'm a tramp. I don't want to carry a backpack. I don't want to carry my home on my back. I want to wear what I need to wear, and what I don't need to wear, it's gone. It goes into my roll. And this is my roll. I basically use this just to give myself a bit of warmth, but I've got really warm gear. So when I travel, you'll see me with this and this wrapped around it. This over here yeah, a lot of you want to know why I cover my face. Because that's just the way it is. Being that I'm a tramp, I like to wear jeans. When I come out, you'll see how I like to dress, and I like to go out. A lot of times I'm with my girlfriend. She's Chinese. She doesn't like people approaching, and because she weirds out on it. So I don't want people knowing what I look like, because it's not a glamour race. It's not a stardom race. It's an introduction to riding rail, and what the difference is between a bum, a tramp, and a hobo. And there'll be a little thing about me too as well is as you can see, I can climb a train, I can get off a train, but this garment is unwise. I never wear it to get on a freight train. Because as you lift, your garment you can step on. And if you step on your garment, you will wipe out. And so the length is only worn when I'm on a freight train. When I'm on a freight train, I want to keep the wind off me. I just want to kind of keep dry. I'll wear this, but modern technology, you don't need this. People wear now clothing that's very lightweight for extreme weather. I'm old school. This is part of the FTR gear. Everything is Dakota. I also like to carry copper wire. I like to carry copper wire. Sometimes I'd be in the middle of nowhere and I need to get on a train. And if you know what you're doing, you can have that train stop so the engineer could be checking out the switch, make sure the switch is working. And so there you go. That's the difference between myself, Hobo, and a tramp. Is I'm a tramp. I get on freight trains, I sleep on them, I eat on them, I take a shit on them, I pick up my shit, I bag it, and I throw it off. I'll continue to ride. I don't touch merchandise. I don't give a fuck what merchandise is on that train. I understand manifest, but I don't care. Now there's other riders who'll agree, and there's other riders who'll explain to you the same thing, the difference between a bum and a tramp and a hobo. A lot of hobo be telling you not to be approach a tramp, especially a tramp with rag. We be riding rail, the rag explain what trains we ride, where we go, and what we do, and we keep to ourselves. Because I'm FTRA, don't mean I go around murdering people. I don't. We got a bad rap for what some people had to do. What people did, we got blamed for it. Now we're going to reactivate the FTRA. The FTRC is going to help. And we're going to form a beautiful group of people who ride freight trains, who help each other, who got homes where riders could stay, warm up, and get a bite to eat and on your way. It's what it's all about. We don't want rotten apples. We don't want people who do crime. We don't want people who murder. We just want people who are very supportive of people who ride freight trains. But besides that, Hobo Mud ran out on the rail. You got a bunch of other riders out there that'd be super, super cool. Richard Wright, watch their videos. They be telling you what I be telling you. They don't wear rags. I wear them. I'll show you something else.